It is 8:20 now. Getting help for your children when it comes to academics is never an easy thing. I mean, you can get tutors. Some of them charge you an arm and a leg. So the amount of money you can afford sometimes does not give the child the amount of exposure that they need in order to help them with a particular subject. Mathematics, of course, one of those subjects. But I was very happy. It's almost been more than a year ago now when we heard about Paper Video. Paul Moran, the co-founder of Paper Video, joins us today. But in a nutshell, Paper Video would, for example, take a maths paper, PDF, and they would then embed the answers to the questions. So they'd embed the video answers to those particular questions in there. So it'll be a tutor explaining how the answer is derived. So, Paul Maria, have I done justice to the explanation? Good morning.
Good morning, Kino. No, you've done very, very well. Thank you.
Now, let's talk about the business. I mean, how far since we've spoken once or twice before, how's the business grown?
The business has grown quite well, and we're very excited about sort of the content explosion that we had last year. You see, you've mentioned maths. But we now have over 8,000 of our solution videos, each one teaching a particular question, a particular exam question that span the subjects of maths and physics and life sciences, which is biology for the old crew that don't think in grades and rather think in standards.
That's me.
And then accounting as well, and that's across grades 10 to 12. So we're very excited about that content explosion.
Now, normally, how would learners, for example, interact with your offering? Would it be online? Was there an app?
Well, exactly. Last year, there were two ways that people could really access the resource. The predominant way, which was online. So you would have your exam paper in front of you, you're struggling with that one particular question, and you either go to our website or you go to our app, and you would be able to scan the code or enter the code next to that question, and then that video of a teacher would pop up showing you how to go through that particular question, like a little mini lesson for that question, really. And the other way we had last year, to ensure that as many students could gain access to the resource, even if they don't have internet, was through DVD packs. But these DVD packs, they're quite cumbersome, they're quite bulky, they're more expensive than we wanted, because as you've mentioned, the fact that private tutors are so unbelievably expensive, cuts out a huge amount of people automatically from gaining from that benefit. So our ultimate aim is to not make any assumptions about the students that we want to service. We want to service students across South Africa. And you can't then have a resource that's expensive. You can't have a resource that relies on internet. You can't have a resource that assumes that someone is going to have access to data, because data is also unbelievably expensive.
And how have you overcome that?
Well, this year we're very excited about our new innovation, which are micro SD cards. Now, these are almost like a little flash drive for your phone. And every Android device, every Android tablet, every Android phone has a little slot for a micro SD card. And what we've done is we've taken a micro SD card, one for each grade. We take all our solution videos for a grade. So that's, for example, with grade 10, with grade 11, grade 12, that's all more than about 2,000 videos. And I think that's more than about 150 to 200 hours per grade of teaching. And the videos individually are so small in size that we can fit 2,000 videos onto that micro SD card. And the idea being that a student can take their phone or their tablet, or they can use a USB adapter and plug it into a computer, and with the same app that you'd normally need the internet for, the app would actually scan the question that you're struggling with and then see, oh, wait a minute, there's a Paper Video micro SD card in here. I'm just going to go to the SD card and watch the video instead, and hence not use any data and not require any kind of internet connection.
Loving it? Absolutely loving it. Now, how do they access this? They can go to, listen, you can go to the website.
Absolutely, papervideo.co.za. The micro SD card itself will be available for public purchase from people in May of this year, so from the second quarter of this year. But what we're already doing with right now is we've been working with corporates and concerned and active citizens to get the micro SD cards sponsored to as many students that would otherwise not be able to afford it themselves. The micro SD card, for example, that gives you access to 150 to 200 hours of teaching, that is 200 Rand. We charge a cost price that you would expect walking into a store to buy an SD card of that size. But of course, 200 Rand to a lot of South African students is still a lot of money.
So it's really great work. There's also the app. I've just checked it now, just paper video.
You got it.
And as we speak, I'm actually just registering my child on there. So, Paul, great chatting to you. Thank you very much for the update. I know that they've also linked up with Theodore Yacht as well. So they're doing some really, really good work on that.